What am I saying? Okay, for instance, in the Inoue fight, Rachel was not even my coach then. It was you and Kenny Adams talking.
Why you ask me? Why you ask me to train you when you when you fight Inoue?
Yes, I had asked you because it was a big fight for me, and I had asked you the second time as well. But you wanted to do your surgery. It was a big fight. We had begged you to come with us.
No, John, don't lie, John.
I'm not lying.
No,
I'm not lying.
You asked me.
Rachel was not okay for once. Rachel was not even in the corner in the first Inoue fight. You were the coach. You and Kenny was the coach. You were not the cutman. You can look at the fight, Bong. You can look at the fight. It was Basil that was there, and you and Kenny were the one training me. Rach was never in the corner. The only time she got in the corner was because of COVID. There was nobody to train me. And you couldn't come because you were afraid of the Asian hate and you didn't want to leave your family. And Kenny couldn't come because he was getting older. So Rach was the only one to help me.
No.
That's why
Rachel is the trainer. All the thing is
go back into the fight with Inoue. Rachel was not in the
You even told me.
How is she the trainer, Pang, if she's not even in the corner with you guys?
No, she was in the corner. She's the one even went up to the ring.
Okay, I'm not gonna argue with you, but you can look back, Pang. I have the biggest respect to you. You know I love you when it comes down to it. No, I'm not. I just want to clarify things, Pang. I just want to clarify things. But Rach was not the only time Rach became my trainer was after COVID because no one was willing to go to train with me in Vegas.
We already trained as if we're supposed to fight the guy from Europe, but you never came back.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have no one else but the man himself, the multi-weight world champion. Let me get this off. NONITO, DONAIRE in the house. What's up, champ?
How you doing, Rap?
Man, I appreciate your time, even after the last few days of what's going on, and you just a straightforward person. So we appreciate you coming over here, bro.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so, these last few days, man, been a different situation, a different climax. Seeing, the things that's been going back and forth. And to be fair with you, when your dad came over here yesterday, we haven't spoke to you since, but your dad kind of changed the tunes, and he said, as you know, you were in the chat. He said that now it's gone different, that he will train a fighter, and hopefully he will teach you a lesson, and he wants to punish you. Basically, he wants to hurt you, and he said it very clearly. And the world of boxing are so many people are a bit confused. Some people think, how can your father say this? And some people are surprised to hear a father say that they will go against their own flesh and blood, and he wants to beat you. He wants to train his fighter, and now he wants to teach you a lesson. Regardless of any situation, that's how he spoke about you. Were you surprised, like how people are surprised?
I mean, I've known my father. This is not the first time I've heard this from him. I think in 2008 or 2009, when he was training another fighter, Marvin Sursona, he was grooming him to beat me. So I mean, I know my dad. He's angry. He's angry for a particular reason, whatever it may be. But things like this, it doesn't surprise me what action he takes, because I know who he is, and I know I've experienced this before.
Okay, so you've seen this before.
Well, the thing about my father is it's either he takes control of you, or if you don't, then he'd rather see you fail. I think that for him, I think this is why he's so angry at my wife, is because she took that control away from me, because I was able to say no to him for the first time. I I said yes to everything else, and when it really came down to that, um nothing really surprised me. I mean, I'm not feeling some type of way about it, and I just kind of wish him that he finds that peace in him, because we're too old for this stuff.
Yeah, but he wants to hurt you now. And he also said that he wishes his material that he has, that he can teach you a lesson. You're his son. He knows he's got grandchildren. It doesn't hurt you, what he said?
I think for me, I can't be mad at him. I can't be mad at him, regardless what it is. He's a very emotional guy, and maybe the words and his emotion got the best of him. Regardless of if he meant that or not, which I think he truly did. But it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't make me mad, because as much as I think, because I've always looked at the positive in life. One thing that I can never forget is, yes, he never left us. And he did came to a point where he was searching for life, and my mother wasn't the person that he wanted to be with, and took a different path. To me, every man is responsible for their action, their life. With me, if my kids grow up and they become very successful, it's my job to be in to find success for myself, because we do have that choice. We do have that opportunity to find success for ourselves. We cannot rely on anybody else. At least for me, I don't rely on anybody else. When I was with my father, I slept in the couch, even though I was already a world champion. And yes, he fed me all those times, and when I gave the opportunity, when I had the opportunity to give him the money, I gave him all my money. When we had the monthly stipend, monthly from my first manager, Jackie Callan, um, it was 1,500 a month. Me and my brother both, each have 1,500, 1,500, and that went to him. All of that went to him. And I don't mind, because he was my father. And I don't mind any of that stuff. But you got to understand that I have my own family now, and whatever I earn, it's not for me. It's for my kids. All my kids are set for the future. And I've never mistreated them in any way, shape, or form. I mean, as you can see, we've seen lots of receipts that we paid, and a lot of texts that stated that we were paying them right. I mean, it wasn't, for when I was with all my manager, with all my trainers in the past, they were only 5%. My dad asked for 12, and I gave him 12. Not that, it doesn't really matter what happens, and I don't want to make him look bad in any way, but I'm gonna go out there and say, you know what? I am not mad at him. I was never mad at him. All I want is for him to listen and to hear me that I'm not there to go against you. I'm not there to harm you or to do you bad. I've never wanted that from him. For me, as much as he said all this stuff, I cannot hate him. He's my father. As much as he did all this and all of that, and even if he goes out there and try to destroy me, I'm capable of myself. He can try to destroy me, and one day he might realize that he's doing something wrong, and that'll be something that I'll be happy for.
Did your father not train Manny Pacquiao? He earned money from training Manny Pacquiao. He earned money from training you. I mean,
Yes,
what happened to the funds?
Money from me. He earned a lot of money from me, and he definitely earned a lot of money from Pacquiao.
So what happened to the money that your father earned? Like, he earned a lot of money in his career.
Yes, he did. And people have their own action. They're responsible for that. And one thing that I do know is that when you grow up in the street, you don't have knowledge of how to take control, or how to hold your money, how to handle your money.
Mm.
Because I did the same thing. If it wasn't for my wife, I would have blown everything out.
Wow. So,
And
Nonito, to be honest though, your father said that now, first he said, right, it's business, right? Then yesterday he came with a different mind and he said to everybody that I want to train my material. I hope I got material that can teach Nonito a lesson. I want to teach him a lesson. And basically, what he's saying is that he's going to train a fighter. And if the time comes, he's going to train that fighter to beat you. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I don't feel anything about it. I mean, it's a challenge from him.
Mm.
For me, I wish him the best. I honestly wish him the best. If he's capable of it, then go for it. But for me, I'm I am confident in myself. If I'm not confident in myself, I wouldn't be reaching out to fight the best out there. So whatever he has or whoever he has, I'm ready for that. And hopefully at the end of the day, he'll realize that family is more important than seeking revenge or trying to prove me wrong. But this goes to show that he's always looked at me as a 10-year-old little boy. Because why would you ask to try to prove me? That only happens when you are a young man or a little boy. Ultimately, when it comes down to it, I'm a grown ass man, and he's a grown ass man, and we have family of our own. I have my own kids, and to try to prove me wrong any other way, I mean, that just goes to show that he's always looked at me as that little boy who he had every way that he dictated me in every way, and I'm no longer that person. And like I said in the earlier, I said, if you don't work with him, if you can't be controlled by him, he wants to prove that I made the wrong decision. But it's not even being a wrong decision. It's just me being a man and protecting my family, my kids, my wife.
Yeah. So, General wants to know, Nanito, did you benefit from your daddy in your life?
100%. And like he did himself with me. He's never earned as much as he did with anybody else with me. I benefited with him because he taught me everything that I did, that I know. He taught me of all the things that he could teach me, from countering to moving. When I was growing up as a young man, my style was based on Sugar Ray Leonard because that was his favorite fighter. And I learned to do that. And one thing that he taught me the most was I had to teach myself. I had to learn to teach myself. And this is why I'm smart in a way and successful, is because I learned to see for myself how to teach myself. And I'm grateful for that for him, because he is the one that really brought that upon me.
So, look, Nanito, it has gone a bit to a point, yeah, that nobody really sees a father say that, you know what, they, you know, that they'll go against their son and they will punish their son in the boxing ring, especially that the coach and the son have been together for many years. And just to see him say that, and just to see that he is cutting relationship with you in a way that, even though the day before he said he loves you, but if he wants to see you hurt, or he wants to see you get punished in the ring, this is boxing. This is a hurt sport. People have been hurt before. People have gone blind before. People have gone in wheelchairs before. Some people in boxing are never the same. If it
There's
gets
so
too
many
personal,
people out there that died in boxing.
they died. I don't want to say your dad is not realizing what he's saying, but he's saying to his own son that I will basically destroy you if this is like personal. I mean, first it was business, but I'm very confused in how your father went from that in 24 hours that he actually then came out and saying that. So did you see the message your father put out? He said you was an ungrateful son. And I'm just saying, Nanito, and you don't have any bad feelings towards your father. You don't have any hurt about it.
Oh, I
None,
mean, what
none
can
of
I?
this is.
He is able to control his. He has the ability to control his emotion, and unfortunately, he's very angry about it. For me, you know what? I'm blessed with my life. I'm blessed with an amazing kids. My both kids are freaking amazing. My wife has always been there for me. I mean, what can I? I don't have time to hate anything. I don't have time to be angry about something because I have an amazing life, and that's something that I am blessed with. Now, and this is something I will always say: God will give you what you deserve in life. That's just how life is. You make choices, and with those choices you create path, and with those path, whatever it may be, is because you have done the action to get you there. I'm here because I got there. Back in 2008, when my father and I split, he didn't think I was going to be successful, and I became fighter of the year, one of the best fighter of that time, because we reap what we sow. And if I am to be struck by lightning because of what I've done, then so be it, because I deserve it if I do deserve it. And I'm okay with that. And he has to be okay with himself that whatever he made, the decision that he made was his decision, not mine. You can't blame other people for how what your life has gone to be. This is the thing about a lot of the people, is they blame situation, and they blame their upbringing, and they blame everybody except for taking the 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 accountability of the decision you make, the thought that you did, and the action that brought you there. The action that brought me here is here. I'm loved by people. And yes, there's other people that don't, and that's okay. I have no anger towards that. I have no anger towards my dad, regardless if he believes that I should die now. Because that is his burden to take, not mine. And all these people that don't like me, that's their burden to take, not mine. You understand, Rap?
I
This is the
get it.
blessing that I have in my life, is I'm so blessed that I don't take in on anybody else's burden, because if I am to hate my father and wish bad upon him, that is a burden for me and my soul. I don't want none of that within me. I cannot control what my wife is gonna do, or her family, because they've been put in the dirt. And I'm not gonna stop them like I did in 2008, because this is why I'm not surprised of what he has said, is because it's been done before. But do I wish him bad? No, I don't. I honestly don't. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for hate. And if you see me in all the talks that I take or do, I always inspire people, because I want the best for everyone. And I wish everybody can feel that.
Wow. I mean, I gotta say though, you know, I wish your father felt like that as well, but you know, he seems to be in his place now. And I
Well,
mean,
we are
you
responsible of our
go
emotion. We are responsible of our emotion. Like I could be mad at him, right, for doing that. I
yeah.
have so many
Like so
proof.
many people would be mad at their
Yeah,
father if their father said that they want to see them get hurt, see them get destroyed, or see them, you know, in a bad situation. You know, at the end of the day, this is boxing. Your father's happy to put, you know, put someone in there to hurt you to say that I want that to happen, right? I get it. There's one thing saying it's business, but the other thing saying that I want to see Nonito get punished because Nonito did not help my family. What does he mean by that?
I mean
He did not help my family, he says.
he has his own family, Rap, and that's what you want me to feed your family. You're the one that put your stuff in and brought in two kids. You
Right.
left my mom, you cheated on my mom. You know what? That is not my burden either. That's my mom's and his burden towards my mom. You know, I learned that what I have is my responsibility. What others do is the responsibility. Like if you can hate me, that is your burden, not mine. If I can hate you, that is my burden, not yours. So if my father hates me, I wish peace upon him, because I wish he could live a life of fulfillment like I have. I wish he could live a life of joy like I have. The only time I've never really said anything about my father is because I always want him to see the better part of life, instead of trying to seek for more, instead of trying to not to want something and then not be happy with what you have. I could be living I'm living in a little house right now because you know what? I'm fine with that. And I'm grateful for that. I have a big house in out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the one that they all live in, but I'm in a
Mm.
little house right now and I'm okay with that. I wash the dishes, I vacuum, I do all that stuff and I'm okay with that. That is mine and I'm happy with. See, the thing about people is that they seek so much. They want to become millionaires, but they're not willing to do the work. They want to be something, but they're not happy with the little things they have. Instead of like, you know what? I'm happy with the food in my table. Back in the days, we didn't have any of that stuff. He should know that because he lived in the street. He slept in the street. He didn't have food. Where he is right now is he has food in his table and he can always have something more. But he wants much more. He wants 1,000,000. He wants 100,000. He wants all this other stuff that all these other fighters are having. Instead of being happy with what you have, I can guarantee you he'll never starve, and his family will never starve because he have dollars instead of pesos. But he wants more than that. And I implore him to see the beauty of life rather than to see the beauty of money.
You mean your dad's at money orientated level? He's at money orientated.
I mean, that's pretty much what we talked about.
Mm. He said, yeah. Yeah.
And
And
then
it's
listen,
just,
man, I just want peace from him. That he's deserving of peace, but he has to choose peace instead of trying to rise in like Pacquiao and myself and all these athletes that they earn so much money. You're not that. Be happy with what you have. I'm happy with the little tiny house, and all of my money's going for my kids and their school. I know that if I die now, I'm fine with it because they're set for life.
there's nothing they
I'm
can do to
happy.
break you. They can't do anything to break you. You already, in your heart, have achieved and know that you set your kids and the most things that are important. So everything which was designed to break you, everything which was designed that you said. Even, let's be honest, you and Rachel wasn't meant to make it in your dad's eyes or around people's eyes.
Nobody did. Nobody did.
They didn't
No,
want you to, did they not think that they never gave you the blessings to make it with Rachel?
they told me not to be with her because of the assumption from a
Right,
person's voice.
right.
And so they never supported her because of that. And they've never believed that we would go beyond this, because I was really the type of person that never really give a fuck about people
Yeah.
because of the fact that I was so busy fighting. I didn't have friends growing up, so I didn't know how to care about other people. I didn't know how to care about love. Let's just say it at that, because everything that I have so much love for my parents. Everything that I had owned, I gave to them. Even though I was a world champion, I was still sleeping in the couch. I was okay with that because I gave them whatever I can.
Wow. So it's crazy that at the end of the day, right, you was not got no blessings to make it with your wife, first of all. Second of all, if I'm not mistaken, right, your wife and the family came from a good background and a well-off family anyway.
That is very true. She was in private school her whole life. They travel all around the world. I mean, they had everything. They had nice house. They had a lake house. They had a house in the Philippines. They had a house at the hills in the Bay Area, which is very, very expensive. They had it. They had it good. My family was, we never had a house growing up. It was always in an apartment in the ghetto. It was always in the ghetto in the back.
Yeah. So G Smooth says, man, Nanito, I'm dealing with this right now with my own family members. Okay. He's dealing with this right now and with his own family members. And you are inspiring on how to learn to forgive. It's so hard to forgive when family can be your own enemy. Nanito, you are an amazing human. He's going through the same similar things.
Thank you. And all I can say to you, brother, is have peace in your heart, forgiveness in your heart. Let go of anger because it's only going to chip away your spirit, your soul. You don't need to be in that because that is not your burden to take. If you're angry, that is your burden. If he's angry about it, that is his burden. Let him be angry and live your life. You have no time to 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 go back and forth with someone who is not willing to listen, to go back and forth of somebody that are looking at you in a disrespectful way, or whatever it may be that you're going through. One thing is you will always have control over your emotion, whether you can be angry or you can be at peace. That is your choice. And when you're at peace, you can work to better yourself. When you're at peace, you can work to better your environment, your career, because no one can take that away from you but you. And this is why I'm at peace, regardless if my dad wants harm on me. I'm at peace, and I wish him that he can be that way, because that's only going to be a burden to us, to him, and it's only going to be a burden to you if you fight anger with anger instead of forgiveness. And let it be. You don't have to deal with them. Live your life because that is your choice. That is what God has given us. My dad doesn't believe in God. He would always ridicule that, and maybe that's something that he needs to seek for himself, is to believe in God. To believe in something. I used to remember him saying that heaven and hell was here on earth. When you're in hell is when you're poor and you have problems, you have health problems and all that stuff. When you're in heaven is when you're rich and you can buy anything that you want and you can be happy. And when you die, you're dead. Nothing else matters. So for him, he didn't believe in God because of that. And maybe that's something that he needs to realize for himself, to have faith, that there's goodness in people, to have faith that there's goodness in in what you seek, that if you believe in it, you can achieve it. But to you, brother, I hope that you can find that peace, because I promise you, you will live a life that you'll be able to smile anytime, regardless of if people are saying you this and this and that. Within yourself, you're always going to have a heart, a full heart, a whole heart, and a place that, you know what, you can say thank you for making me strong. Like I tell my dad, and I'll say it here right now, thank you, because you've inspired me. I remember back in 2008 when you when he wished harm on me, like just like right now. I was inspired. And guess what? With that inspiration, it brought me to become Fighter of the Year. So this time, I'm also again inspired. So thank you for that. Because for once, I got up in the morning, I ran, I went and trained and did what I forgot to do, which is the little things that matter to strengthen the body. So thank you for that, because I'm inspired. And for once, I quit drinking. It may be only be a day, but I'm already set and stopped my drinking because I'm inspired to get to the top again.
Wow. So can I just say this? This is an inspiration to you, and you said you quit drinking now.
Yes.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Nanito Donaire has quit even drinking now. So while you were fighting with Inoue and all these other fights, you used to drink now and then?
I drink a lot. Yeah, I drink. I drink here and there. Yeah.
And
I mean, to me, it didn't really affect me. But
Mhm.
for me now, I just want to do the same thing because I'm inspired now. I want to do the best that I can. But this is why I say to everybody out there, because everybody has issues in life. Everybody goes through
Man,
dark
I
times.
respect you for that, bro, because everybody has some kind of an issue and nobody's perfect.
No one is perfect. We can live
No one.
the greatest life. We can have the best life with everything in life, but there's always something that makes it far from perfect. But you can only choose to look at the beauty of life rather than the dark times of life. Like, for instance, here now, to everybody else, you know what? This is what I say. To all the dark part of your life, if you can dissect the learning experience from it, is when we can propel ourselves to be better human beings. If you can find the light in the dark, is when you can enhance yourself and enlighten yourself to become a better man, a better woman, a better person, that you are able to push beyond yourself, and you can see beyond who you are as a human being. So when the dark time comes, embrace it, because it means that you need to grow. It means that there is something that you need to learn from it. Dissect it. There's always an inspiration behind every dark times.
So would you be drinking what drinks do you drink when you
I mean,
were
I
drinking?
drink a lot of whiskey. I like whiskey. I do a lot of beer too. I like beer.
Mhm.
Gin. I like gin. I used to drink a lot of that stuff.
And
But you know,
is that to ease just that you got to relax with it? Sometimes you thought, okay, you know what, this makes me feel chilled. Like everybody drinks, right? We all have a drink here and there. Is it because to ease any pain or just to get away from reality? What's going on?
nothing to get away from me. I'm never really the kind of person to get away from myself. I always look into myself and look into that person in the mirror. It's just more. It was. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed drinking. It was fun for me. It was good. It was. I felt great. I was a happy drunk.
I remember you saying you like red wine too. I remember you
I
told
like
me you
red
drink red
wine. Yeah, I
wine.
do. I do. Cabernet is my thing. I drink Cabernet all day. You
Uh-huh.
know. But yeah, I was always a happy drunk. I love
But you
life.
wouldn't drink. You would never drink while you're training, or you drink while you're
I
training.
did. I did. I'll
At least
grab
you're
a
being
couple.
honest. Look, 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 look. You're being honest. Most of the fighters, like Mike Tyson, Nigel Benn, even a lot of fighters, I can mention their names. They all came out later on and said, "Yo, we were doing these things, bro. It was just we enjoyed a little bit. Not it was our life, you know. It was just a lot of pressure we go through."
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat things. I'm not a perfect person, and I do enjoy drinking. The kids had jujitsu today, but I felt like, you know what, I want to take them to the place they want, and we went to the arcades. And my father-in-law was drinking beer, and I was like, man, I want that beer so bad. I enjoyed beer, but for me, it was like, no, I'm gonna stay true to my motivation. This is a lesson for me to this is what I've asked for.
So for
This
the
is what I've
first
asked.
time, how long has it been since you stopped drinking before?
Well, I mean, when I set my mind into it, there was a year or 2 years that I stopped drinking, and I go back into drinking.
Right. But how long
And
have you been drinking since that time? How long have you been drinking?
every year, every day, not every day, but yeah,
Every other day.
sometimes. I mean, sometimes
Yeah.
it's every day.
Okay, but you've been
Sometimes
drinking for what, last 10 years?
I would think so, yeah, or
So
more.
this is this from yesterday. You've been inspired. What you saying today? You stopped drinking now.
Yeah, yeah. I stopped drinking today, and right now I just want to clear my body, and I'm in fast. I haven't eaten anything. I'm fasting, and I just want to clear myself, and meditate and be grateful for my life, grateful for my body, grateful for the people that are there for me. And that's the thing about me is when dark time comes, I'm always just gonna be grateful, because it's telling me that I need to wake up. And waking up for me is doing the right thing that I wanted to, meaning taking care of my body, taking care of my mind, and taking care of my heart and all the people that I care about.
So you are now inspired.
I'm very much inspired, and I'm grateful for this experience because as much as we didn't like to see all this stuff, but and it inspired me to be a better person. You know, one thing that I realize is that when we forget when we do things, we tend to forget that emotion that drove us in the first place. You know, we become complacent, and having this setback or this dark times shocks us to realize, I'm like, oh man, I've been very ungrateful with my life.
Wow. Man, Anita, I'll tell you what, bro. That means a lot of boxers have got issues. You know, when you hear about Errol Spence, Tank Davis, no, it's not issues. It's just because they're normal people, bro. People
And that's
forget. People forget that you guys
yes,
are normal people, bro. You
yes,
might be boxers, but you also are human beings.
100%. But it's also our duty to to um to create our own path, to create the right mindset. How many millionaires and billionaires do you see, and they take their own life, or they go into drugs and all this other stuff because they can't find themselves. But it is our duty, our job, to learn for ourselves, to grow for ourselves, to love ourselves. The thing about people is they hate looking at themselves. They hate all the things that they've done in the past, that they can't look at themselves. When you learn to look at yourself, is when you can learn to love the people around you, because you start loving yourself more. And this is why nothing is affecting me in terms of other people. The only person that really truly affects me is my kids and my wife. She got the button on me, but anybody else, I wish them the best. I wish them that they find peace, because they say life is too short. Life is very long. We have a lot. you know we this is that we take time for granted, that life is too fucking short. Life is fucking long. If you live 100 years, you live a fucking 100 years. That's a long fucking time. But because you take fucking life for granted, that life is too fucking short, because guess what? When you realize you're already old and you want to change, but you can't. So take life and make life the way you want life to be, the way you want to feel about life, not circumstances taking from you. All of that is just an excuse. Take accountability, and you'll grow to become a better person, a better man, a better woman, a better everything, a better and successful person. Because I give you this, regardless if I don't make any more money, I'm always gonna be happy with what I have, because I've been there. Money is not the greatest thing. Yes, it helps out a lot, 100%. But if if when it comes down to it, you will see everybody. They will write to you. They will write that the purpose of life wasn't to make money. The purpose of life was to be happy in every moment that I have in life. And I hope that everybody out there can see that. It's not about making money. When you can make money, please do, because you're deserving of it. If I can have one wish, I wish everybody to be billionaires, and they will realize for themselves that the true essence of money is just comfort, but the true essence of life is joy and fulfillment. And I hope that people can understand that.
Nania, where'd you get all this peace from in yourself? In even if the people want to put you down, your own father wants to put you down, but you have the this way that you want the best for him, even though he wants the worst for you.
Because
Where do you get this from? Is this for your spirituality? Is this your God? I mean, where do you get this uh that you still want? I'm not saying, look, you even said today, even your enemy, people who want to speak bad about you, or even if somebody wants to treat you like they're an enemy, you still want the best for them. Where'd
yes,
you get this from, bro?
Well, when I search, when me and my wife was falling apart, and I walked into the courtroom, and you know, and then I realized that this is not something I want. I had asked her to give me a year, and so I went in all, from reading books to going to to seminars from everywhere, spending like a quarter, $250,000 in that year of just traveling, and and traveling, um and learning from every gurus out there. And I learned from myself that I have the choice for me, that everything that I do was because I did it. If my dad can see himself that where he is at is because he did it, he will find peace in himself. He will be angry at it because, like, why did I do that, you know? But throughout the years, I learned a lot. And because of my meditation, I meditate every morning, that I find, I find myself outside of myself and see myself before making the bad decision of being angry about something, you know. And it's, don't get me wrong. Today I cursed somebody out on Instagram because saying something, you know, I cursed them out. I'm like, F that, you know, I was saying all that stuff, you know. But you know, at the end of it all, you know, I am still human, but ultimately within me, in my core, I want the best for everybody.
So why does it? Is your dad a believer of? I mean, is there something? What would you say is missing in your father's life? If there was three things you could change, what would you like to those three things to be? Or you know, I'm just giving you a three, but
I would say faith.
so your
I
father
think
don't have faith.
he doesn't believe in God. He believes that life is here in on earth, and when we pass, we're done. There's nothing beyond that. So to him, I remember one time, I think it was the Baptist or a Christian group came in and knocked in the door, and we welcomed them in our little apartment. And he would say, he would just kind of mess with them, you know. He would say, so you know, they're talking about Jesus. So, you know, Jesus raised, was what, you know, he was risen from the dead. And you know, he went up, and he would say, so where is heaven? You know, he would say, where is heaven? And he would, and people would point up, right? They would point up. And he was like, really? Because I could have sworn there's a moon in there in space. You know, he would ridicule them in that way. And I, you know, it would, and the opposite thing is, my mom's so damn religious,
Mm.
you know. So for him, the only time I saw him really was praying, was he was praying for my sister, because he felt like she was she was away from the path that he chose, and he was begging the Lord. And if he didn't get it, he would curse the Lord. You know, he was that kind
What?
of guy.
Curse the Lord?
I mean, I don't want to put any picture on it with him. He's just, if he didn't get it his way, he would kind of ridicule him, you know, or he would say something along the line of like, I don't know. I don't want to put anything in it. Anyways, point is, he was, you know, he didn't really care too much about religion. Let's just leave it at that.
Wow. So he don't believe in no faith of God in that way. He hasn't
He
brought
he
you
I-
up.
he believes that there's no heaven and there's no hell. That it is here on earth only. When you are, again, when you are poor and suffering, that's hell. When you are happy, that's heaven. There's nothing beyond that. But he believes that there's something or someone that created us. But you know, that's something that he would say. But he thinks that heaven and hell is just here, and where we at here is where this is where we are. We don't go beyond this, you know.
Man, so Nonito, it looks like to me, yeah, even if your father is saying what he's saying, or even if he came back here one day say what he's saying, it don't matter to you no more. You just still want the best for the man. You just
Well,
want
the
the
thing is,
best for
if
the
my
man,
kid to
and
me,
you just
if
want
my
to
kid,
live your life in peace. But I want to ask this one question. Oh, sorry. Before I ask that, go on.
yeah,
You were
yeah, no, I'm just saying that that to just answer your question before I forget, God, accountability, to own up to his every decision, so that way he cannot blame others. Because when you start blaming others, you'll never become the person that God wants you to be.
No, that's true.
And I hope that he has love in his heart.
Now I know that even regardless of what's been said and where it's come to, this is the question for you. Have you closed your doors now to your father after what he said yesterday? Or,
I don't say definite stuff,
yeah,
but
that's
I
not
will
you.
I will protect my wife, I will protect my kids, and I will not be around toxic environment, toxic energy and hatred and anger. I don't want any of that stuff. And I don't want to teach my kid that it's okay to stab or to hurt your family. I don't want them to be okay with that. You know, I don't want them. I want to teach them that families stick together, that you love each other, and that you support each other no matter what.
Okay. So the main thing is this now. If your father, and in the near future, if you now have a fight and win your fight and Gavalio wins, and your father wants to, he's going to be, now he said he's adamant that he wants to train a fighter to punish you. When you switch and it's time to fight, is that a different Nonito Donaire? It don't matter now. You already you've seen it.
Every
Mm,
time that I'm inside the ring is a different Nonito Donaire.
yeah.
I have no feelings. I have no remorse. I don't see nothing but destroy the person in front of me. And this is why for me, he can ask all of that stuff. He can try to do what he needs to do.
Mm,
And I'm not gonna stop him.
mm,
You know, the only reason I tried to reach out to him in a way, because he said it was business, is because I want to have a relationship with him. But that's something that he clearly are not inclined to do. And I'm not gonna stop him from training every fighter that he can to go against me,
mm.
because I'm confident in myself. I can beat anybody. This is what I believe in myself, regardless if nobody believes in that. If I believe in it, that's all I have to go into the ring. That no one can touch me in there. I am the king in that ring.
And especially now, Nonito Donaire's already announced he ain't even drinking anymore.
Yes, I'm definitely inspired, and I'm grateful for this experience because it inspired me to be a better person.
Wow. So at this point, even if that happens, and if it happens, you are very confident that you will destroy even, or you will beat the fighter that your dad brings into the ring,
I 100% believe that. Yes.
even though he was your trainer. It don't matter.
Thing is, he can have everything and know everything about me.
He ain't got the skill you
One
got.
thing
Yeah.
that he does not know is how my mind works.
Mm, 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 mm. Wow. And Lenito, I gotta give you this though, man. It has been, very humbling to know that this really hasn't been in a way that it's made you more inspired. It doesn't feel no hate. You don't feel nothing else. In fact, you want the best for your dad. This is just not something that you didn't totally expect from your father, because you've seen something like this in 2008 where he came to, speak against you. But now it's come to a point that you just understand that he's a different man. He is that kind of a person. So it doesn't really bother you now in that way, you're saying.
Well, it never
Or
really
it does
bothered.
bother you, or it does bother you.
It didn't really bother me. It's just more of like I wanted to save him, to see more of the peace of life and the joy of life rather than the grind of life. You know, But for me, it's not, your only burden. It's his burden if he's feeling that way. It's people burden if they have hatred towards their heart and towards others in their heart. It's not mine. You can hate me all you want, but I'm gonna live a happy life. You can be so angry that you whatever it may be,
Mm.
but that is your burden, not mine, because I'm happy living. You can be angry at me. You can talk to the whole world and all the Philippines, and they can hate me all they want. But you know what? I'm happy with my life.
And look, I
And
don't know why this Philippines. Can you explain? Look, I'm gonna say this right now. People love you when it comes to, I see all over these YTBC. This hasn't changed anything about even the subscribers and the fans who even come and support you here. Like, I can see it. This hasn't made them feel. In fact, it's making them feel like your father should have embraced love in his heart. He should have some God in more God in his heart. You're speaking like you're the father. Not, I don't want to sound in a bad way, but when you have a father and son, they sometimes have a misunderstandings, or they have something bad happen over things. Sometimes the father says it doesn't matter, even if my son feels that way about me. I want him to be great, and I want him to be happy, and da da da. A father normally says what you're saying, but this time round, it's the opposite. The father is saying something like that, but the son is saying, you know what? I just want him to have peace or be happy in life, and it's kind of like a bit different. So it means your father was being like this for a long time. He doesn't have faith in God that much. It kind of like makes me feel you've it hasn't changed you. It's made you a better human being.
I think with all experience in my life, regardless whether it's good or bad, I learn to become better. And the thing is, a lot of people stop learning to become better. They think they know, especially when you're an adult and you have your son. You think that you know better than them. You know how much my kids teach me every freaking day.
Mm.
They teach me how to be patient. They teach me how to laugh. They teach me to be in this freaking moment, not thinking about the future, not thinking about making money, not thinking about the past. My kids are the most amazing people in my life. They are the best teacher that have taught me to be a better person. And I wish that he can give that ounce of respect to me and my family, my siblings and my mom, so that he can learn for himself that no one's out to get him.
Wow. Is this some kind of a demons, bro? It's like a man to man
Everybody has
demon.
that, right? Everybody has their own demons. I have my own demons.
Yeah, at least you own up to them. At least you're very, you understand your demons. You're very straightforward with accountability.
And this is why I'm not making any excuses, because I'm accountable for my action, for my words, for everything that I am. And when he can learn, and anybody here can learn to be accountable, and you'll be able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? You're a fucking amazing guy. And I'm grateful to you. How many of you ever even said thank you to yourself? When was the last time you even said thank you to yourself? I say thank you to myself every fucking day. Every fucking moment that I see something beautiful, I said, man, I'm thankful. Thank you. I'm thankful for myself for being aware for this amazing day that I have.
Now, I want to ask you a question that, I'm going to be, you see a lot of people, yeah, included your father and the Filipino media, how Philippines, they kind of like make more out of it. You've seen how they want to speak bad about your wife. And at the end of the day, is it true to say that you also when you admitted to the public today, that you also have times that, you've been drinking in your life? Are you easy to live with, or has Rachel been through a lot with going through with it with you as well? So that,
I mean,
people think Rachel has this, all this lifestyle or gold digger where she spends hundreds of thousands of dollars, and she'll be this kind of a life. Is Rachel down to earth? Is she very, very protective of money? Is she one of the, or, why do people always, try and portray Rachel being this. I know your father said gold digger, but people use it against Rachel. How is Rachel, and what has she been through in this relationship with you, bro?
First, people like narratives. People like to assume so that it fits in their narratives.
Yeah.
And they're gonna say otherwise, that she's the bad person and this and that. This girl barely freaking shop. This girl shops at freaking Walmart, for crying out loud. And it fits her fucking perfect too. You know, that's what she does.
Oh, you mean she's that down to earth? She'll shop at Walmart?
I'll tell you, Rap, I swear this upon
So
myself.
she's not a woman who spends money on Gucci all the time. She's not a woman who likes to.
I'm the one
She's
that's
not a
buying
woman.
it.
So let me ask you this: she's not a woman who likes to spend a lot of money.
I mean, she loves to travel. We'll go to traveling and all that
Yeah,
stuff, but
but
we're bringing ourselves in there to
but even if
experience.
she did spend that money on herself, I'm sure she deserves it. But she's just not
100%.
like that. She's just not like that. She's not a spend. She don't want all this extra accessories.
Yep. I mean, she is the type of person. Well, for me, I'm the one that buys it for her because she's not willing to do it. I mean, sometimes she'll do it, but hardly. She'll go to Versace or something, and like I have to force her, or sometimes I'll buy it on my own for her. I'm like, hey, this is, I want you to have a new purse. She has a lot of purse already, but because I bought them, not because she bought them herself. So that's just how she's so simple in that way. And don't get me wrong, when she's angry, she's the worst person to be around with because she's like, you can never win a fucking argument with her, right? But when the majority of the time, she's the freaking cutest person in the whole fucking world. She's like this little girl that's just the cutest person. And I know I'm painting a picture of her, and she probably hates it because she doesn't want to be seen that way. But she's the freaking cutest person in the whole fucking world, man. And I think our relationship, the way we are together, we're like little kids, and it's just amazing being around her, and I'm so grateful for her.
Hey, listen, man. I didn't mean nothing about Walmart. You know what I mean? Walmart must be great. You know what I mean? But look, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the day, you heard it here yourself. Nonito Donaire, regardless of everything even his father has said, he wants the best for his father. He wants peace for his father. And he feels, at the end of the day, no hate or nothing like that. So even if your father feels that way about you, you don't feel that way about him.
That's his battle. That's his battle to learn and to grow. My battle is I don't have nothing. I'm at peace. For him, he has to battle himself, and he has to learn to forgive himself. That's the thing is, I think he has so much resentment and things that he needs to set for himself. That he points it out of everybody. I just wish him the best. I don't have. That is not my battle. It's his because he's the one that goes through it. For me, I'm happy with my life. And to everybody out there, I hope that they can learn to see themselves in the mirror. I hope that they can learn to be accountable for every decision that they make in their life. And regardless if it's the wrong one or a setback, own up to it because you learn to make your own decision and no one will ever be blamed for anything else. And you won't have any reaction of anger because this is you. This is what makes you. This is what God blessed us to have is choices. So make the choice for yourself. Don't give it to other people.
Wow. Hey, yo, Nonito, you are, you're even behind the scenes, yeah? I'm going to say in front of the scenes, you're a great man to get to know. And knowing that at the end of the day, you have a good outlook, you're very straightforward. I mean, meaning like you'll be honest about certain things. You were very honest about, you even told us about your drinking. But man, Nonito, at the end of the day, I hope you've inspired people who ever go through problems with their families, especially when they hold grudges. Learn from Nonito Donaire. Grudges will make you old quick. You will live a bitter life. You need to be at peace
You,
and you need to recognize what makes you happy. You know what I mean? And don't get in that energy.
You know what grudges are, Rap?
Yeah. So
Grudges are like a rock, a heavy boulder that you carry on you the whole time. It will just drain you mentally, physically, emotionally. It's it's this heavy boulder that you're carrying around you. Let it go, and you'll see yourself fly. You feel yourself light when you learn to let go of those boulders that we call um our issues, our anger, our envy, our greed, whatever it may be that that we're carrying. But every one of us is carrying a big boulder. So learn to let those boulder go, because you have that choice to let it go.
yeah, Nonito, man. I hope one person can even be inspired by that, even if it takes one. You don't need to fight fire with fire. Sometimes you can be like water. You can be somebody like Nonito has preached and practicing now in his life, how to fight demons. Demons, everybody has demons.
Yes,
And
sir.
Nonito knows that. And there's a way to get through it all. If somebody wants to bring you down, even if it's your own flesh and blood, at the end of the day, you don't need to go and rise to that level. Correct? You
Well,
don't need
that's
to
the
go to.
thing. That's the thing, Rap, is it has nothing to do with me. Your anger has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
It's you and yourself and your internal turmoil and choices. And that's the boulder that you got to be carrying on yourself. I have no boulder. I have no rocks. I don't have anything that I'm carrying but love and joy and fulfillment and bless that when I do go, even if I do go today or whenever it may be, I'm happy. I don't have to say, man, I wish I had more time. Man, I wish I did this. I don't have to do any of that stuff because I live a life that is worth my satisfaction, and I will be proud, and I'm proud of what I made for myself, what I did for myself, and who I become. That I don't need an extra time to better myself. When my time comes, and I'm happy with that.
I think
But
that's
out
what makes
here,
you a very strong man as well, mentally, physically, and in the ring. Because when you know that something part of you feels happy about certain things in life, that's when you're your most dangerous and also your most strongest.
yes, sir.
So at this point, I just feel like everybody needs to recognize whatever you were thinking you were going to hear today, Nonito Donaire has not felt anything like that. In fact, it's inspired Nonito Donaire that he's telling me he ain't even going to drink for his next fight.
Well, that's
So
something that we take for granted. Rap is we take for granted when life is good. We take life for granted.
yeah,
So we have to be vigilant when life is good. We always gotta be good to ourselves. That's
yeah,
why I stopped drinking now. Is because you know what? I haven't been good to myself. And in terms of my body. When we are good to our body, we feel great about ourselves. We have more energy. We have a lot to give. You know, but we forget. And sometimes these moments we are reminded of what we can be grateful for instead of be focused on the anger and the darkness of this time. I chose to be happy instead, to learn from this instead, to grow from this instead, and not be complacent. And I hope that everybody out there, regardless whether you're a fan or not of me, that you find that peace on yourself, because this is why you never see me talk shit to anyone, because I'm at peace. All the haters out there that always talk shit is because you're not at peace. You're always going to talk shit because you don't want to face yourself. You don't want to look into yourself because you got a lot of shit. You're carrying so much fucking baggage. I don't got no fucking baggage. And this is why I can't talk shit to anybody else except for being grateful and to wish each and every one of you guys, whether you like me or not, that you find peace and happiness in life. And I truly mean that from the fucking bottom of my heart. I do mean that. Because when you find that, you will never, ever, ever even will say anything bad about somebody else, because it's no longer you. Because every time that you talk shit about somebody else, you're putting a fucking boulder over your shoulder again. You're putting this big rock and you're carrying this fucking rock. Chose to drop that rock. Chose to live your life in peace with the people that you care about, with the people that you love, and that loves you back. Because when you do, life is so much more. That's when you can rise and be in the level of you just, it's euphoric, man. It's euphoric when you learn to love yourself and others in a very heartfelt and authentic way.
Nonito Donaire, we really appreciate you. And to be fair with you, I think everybody out here, if they were even not as much of a fan, I'm sure they're going to stay with your journey until the wheels fall off. I'm inspired by you, by not even taking this like your dad takes it, to be the bigger man here. And I'm going to say one thing, Gabalio, you better watch the fuck out. Because Nania will fuck you up, bro. Like,
Everybody.
what I mean in that, no, I mean that as in a way that Nanito, you got the mindset, bro. You have a mindset, and nothing that shows me that's why you can be a boxer, because your mind, you don't let it get rattled by what the world thinks. You're focused on you when it comes to a journey, and I like that, bro. That's an inspiring way of what I've heard today. That was inspiring, bro.
Thank you, Ram. Appreciate that. Thank you for allowing me to be in here and, asking the right question, to be getting me in this level of my emotion. I do truly want everyone out there to find their peace. That working and grinding is great. But when everything around you is falling apart, take a step back and plant the people around you all over to love you again, to have that satisfaction and that joy around you. And every grind will be so much more joyful and easier.
Man, we appreciate you, Nanito Donner, man. You the man, bro. And I appreciate how real you are. I appreciate that you even came out here saying, oh, I might have a problem, but it is what it is. Everybody's got some kind of problem. And you know what? It's just to see that how you deal with situations, bro. Hey, listen, man. All the best of luck for the rest of your journey, and we're with you on your journey when it comes to boxing. You've always represented us in the sport of boxing. You've given us amazing nights of boxing, Nanito Donaire. And to be fair with you, Nanito, so as senior came in the journey early days, and he was there with you. And just to see how how you deal with it, and the way that you are, bro. Hey, listen, respect to you. And again, the exclusive before Rachel starts to dinging me down on emails, and I'm sure Rachel will be waiting for you, but the exclusive, bro, you know,
I
really
appreciate you.
appreciate you.
I appreciate you, man. And I appreciate everybody out here. And hopefully that you learn something, about making a choice of yourself, making a choice of your life, and the words that you say, the words and the things that you think about, all of that affects our mind and our action. And I hope that you make the right choice for yourself, because you deserve to be happy. Each and every one of you deserves to be happy. So let go of those boulders, because you don't need it. You deserve to be happy. Everybody deserves to be happy. And I wish everybody the best. And I mean that.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna shut this one down, Nanito. But Nanito, to the fans, to the people who know you, hey, man, anybody can say anything they want. Nanito Donaire's got a journey, and his journey ain't nothing gonna stop him. That's you, brother. So peace to you.
And again, everyone is responsible for their own journey, because everybody has their own journey. Everybody else can't be given the job for anything else for others. It's their journey, like my journey. I will never ask for my kids for anything else, because I made myself. and they're gonna make themselves. And that's their journey in life. You have your own journey in life, and focus on that journey and be glad that you have the opportunity for that journey to grow, to better yourself. There is no responsibility, but you yourself is the responsibility of you.
Man, God bless you, Nonito Donaire.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, everybody. Nonito Donaire exclusive. Hey, we're out of here. Peace.